Hi, everyone. I'm Helen Taylor. Welcome to my show, Inspired Radio. I'm here with you every Wednesday for conversations and stories to inspire you. Before I go any further, I just want to say thank you to my sponsors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You keep this show going. You're an essential part of this show. So thank you so much for your support. Inspired Radio is all about change and getting uncomfortable and shaking up the status quo because we're all breaking free from limiting systems and limiting lives and embracing our infinite potential. My guests are here to tell their story because storytelling is creating this new world. So let's get started. My guest today is Angie Sudduth Walsh. She's an intuitive voice behind the Oracle Blonde and the creator of Solstice Circle podcast and YouTube channel. Angie is an intuitive guide, a spiritual mentor, and she explores everything from intuition, energy healing, and personal transformation to consciousness, paranormal experiences, and the mysteries of our human journey. Through thought provoking conversations and her own intuitive insights, she encourages people to trust their inner wisdom and embrace life's deeper purpose. She's on a mission, this is on her website, I love this, to save the world one soul at a time. So, Angie, welcome. It's wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you for having me. That was a wonderful introduction. I was sitting here thinking, wow,
Who is this woman?
I know. I want to meet her.
It's a bit like that when you hear about yourself, isn't it? And how other people see
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it is. Because I always just say it's just me.
Well, just
It's
that,
just me.
just that. Yes. So
So,
tell me, so tell me, you're in Florida, right? In the US. So thank you for we worked out the times and got ourselves together here. Were you born in the States?
yes, yes, I was born in the States. I was born in Indiana, which it's normally, we experience all four seasons up there. So
Okay.
Florida's warm all year round.
Yep. And what was like, what were you born into? What sort of a family? Was it a family that were intuitive and into the spiritual world?
Um, yeah, my mom was that way. Her mom was that way. Yeah, it goes back, and it's actually on both sides of the family. So yeah, it was that way. Yeah.
So rich,
So,
sort of a rich thread going through the generations.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I was always
So,
that way.
so sorry.
I've always been this way with my gifts and stuff, and so it was, if I experienced something and I go talk to my mom about it, she didn't, poo-poo me away or tell me it was my imagination or anything like that. She
Oh,
listened to me
wow.
and we would talk about it. So it was a very open conversation. So it was, in that way, then my gifts were allowed to bloom
It was
and grow.
encouraged. Yeah.
Yeah.
How beautiful. So, what were your gifts as a child? Do you remember?
I can remember being as young as 2 years old and seeing spirits. I had an
Okay.
imaginary friend. They call them imaginary friends, but it was
Yes.
the spirit.
Yes.
Um, you know, I I would know things before they happened. You know, it everything that I can do now, I could do as a child. You know,
Okay.
um, Feeling things like it was I think it was heightened more because I didn't know how to protect my energy. I didn't know how to do, you know, um, to shield things. So everything was amplified
It was
as
just
a child.
turned full on.
Yes, full on, full on. So yeah,
So,
once you learn, that was one thing I did with my children was helping them learn how to protect their energy and shield themselves and all of that so that they didn't absorb everything. So
let's go back to you, right?
yes,
So you never had to turn it off or dial it down or forget it at all?
I've never been able to.
Okay.
It's it's my gifts are always on 24/7. So um, I have to really work to turn them down. I can never turn them off.
Yeah.
They're always there.
Yeah.
So even, when I go to sleep, I can be woken up in the middle of the night by spirits, especially if when I'm doing readings and stuff. If there's a client who has a loved one that wants to come through with a message, I'll wake up, they'll be standing next to my bed. It's 24/7, 365.
They
So
don't have a calendar or a booking schedule.
no, they don't. And even when when I was pregnant and stuff, it was amplified a million times. So I don't know what that is to do with the hormones or something, but it was amplified a million times. And I would say, like, please just let me get some sleep, and but nothing worked. I don't know if it was my son that I was pregnant with. His energy was,
Yeah,
I don't know.
combination. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just intense, and it was that way with my daughter too when I was pregnant. Just it was like I was a big lighthouse or something.
Sure. So how did you handle that as a child?
I just thought it
Like
was normal.
going to school and, being part of
Well,
friends?
my mom would tell me I couldn't tell other people about it because I would get made fun of and stuff. And as I got older, like, some of my friends would be interested in that, or we'd be interested in, like, ghost stories, things, haunted places, stuff
Yep.
like that, horoscopes, all of that. So then I knew that they were a safe person to talk about it with, but I also knew how far I could talk to them about things.
She
So there
was
was really only
wise.
one friend I ever told.
She was a
So,
wise woman, your mother.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, she's intuitive herself, so
Yeah. I'm kind of just a bit in awe of this because, so many people that I've spoken to over the years, and with my own journey, people haven't had strong guidance, or they've had to shut it down, and, it kind of reawakens through some sort of, event when they're in their 30s or their 40s or something like that. But for you, I have not met someone who's gone, yeah, I woke up with it, I came here with it, and I've had it the whole time. And
yeah.
not only have I had it, but I had a really gorgeous guide called my mother who was actually showing me how to handle it, how to manage it, and more importantly, manage the outside world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I always was could see auras and stuff around people, but I didn't know what it was. But to hone it and to learn more, I was practicing with my mom on how to
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
So she was the main one.
Mm.
So
That is so beautiful because I'm just writing my second book at the moment, and it's called Life Doesn't Come with Instructions.
yeah,
So I wrote them myself, right? Because I was the one that was going, when auras turned on for me, like they just turned on. And I was in my 30s at the time, and I would walk into someone's room, and the room was filled with green. The whole room was green. And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, all right. So how am I supposed to interpret this? You know? Or I'd have somebody talking to me and they'd have purple shooting out of their hands and things. And I'm like, and what am I supposed to do with this?
it is. I mean, there's tons of books and stuff on it, but it is a personal experience.
It sure
You
is.
can
Yes.
have you can have guides and references and stuff, but I teach a spiritual development course. I teach about auras and soul frequencies. I give a guide, but I tell people it's up to you. It's up to your intuition of what those colors mean to you, and what
Yeah.
you're seeing, because there's so many layers in the aura. And, yes, there's the etheric, the middle, and the outer, but there's lots of colors in between. There's all of that. So it was what did that green mean to you? What did that purple mean to you coming out of their hands?
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I just had to look at who was in the room that I was walking into and what was going on with them, and it was healing. It was healing. The whole
Yes.
room was about healing. So yes, I didn't have any spiritual experience at that point. I hadn't done any courses or anything else. But yeah, you're there, and people have to find people like you to help them to understand when they actually do open that door to either clairvoyance or clairaudience or clairsentience, those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got
Yeah.
a whole lifetime of experience. I
I
was
do.
looking
I've
for
got
you.
all
I was
those.
looking for you.
That's the weird thing, is I didn't know there was names for all the stuff I could do.
Right.
Like photographic memory, being able to the clairaudient thing, and like recording conversations. the telepathy, remote viewing, like all the stuff. I didn't know there was, I just thought people did that. I just thought it was
Yes.
normal.
Yes,
I
good
just,
point. Good point, right? So here's
yeah,
me discovering it and not knowing what it is, but for you who'd already discovered you, it was life. It was just
yeah,
normal for you. So I
yeah.
hadn't thought that you wouldn't know that there were labels for it, that there were certain skills that you had.
And honestly, some of those labels I didn't learn about until I became friends with Rachel Vaughn and Max Lowen, where they were telling me about the different labels. And, like I took some of their courses and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Okay. So how long
So,
ago was that for you?
just in the last few years.
Right. So your whole life you've been doing all of this and
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
not
I
really.
learned, and to be quite honest, I learned about the soul frequencies from Rachel. I've always seen them, but
Yeah,
I didn't know that that's what I was seeing. I
right.
just was like, I see their aura, and I was interpreting the colors, how I was interpreting them, per my intuitive guidance. I learned about the soul frequencies from her.
Okay.
So it doesn't, we all learn from each other, that we don't know everything.
Yeah.
So, and I love to learn. So
And
I love
and
to
I
learn as
love
much
that.
as I love to
Yeah.
teach.
Well, because that then kind of pushes us all. I mean, this isn't a soul journey, as in SOLE. We're not here to do it alone. We're to do it
Right.
here in conjunction with others. And it's beautiful, like what you're explaining is it makes us go and search another and connect with another. And we start to find out more information. It's like we're all pieces of one great big beautiful puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is
Connect.
that then when you discovered both of them, is that when you started up the Oracle Blonde and started doing that sort of work?
No, no. I started the Oracle Blonde in 2009
Okay.
because I had a lot of my friends were telling me I needed to do readings professionally, and I thought I'm not ready to do that. And so they kept bringing me people to read that I didn't know, or showing me pictures, or because I would just be watering the flowers and I'd get visions on people, or I'd get information on people, and everyone kept telling me you need to do this professionally. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, how would I do that? So people started having me do readings for people they knew, and I had my hairdresser started telling people about me, and then people started having psychic parties where I would go and there'd be like 30 people there for me to read. And so word just got out. That's how it started building
So
from
tell
there.
me, because I'm listening to something that sounds very familiar to me. Do there's two aspects to this. What was in your way? It was like you were resisting. They were all saying, come on, you got to do readings. Come on, what was in your way?
I didn't think I was good enough.
Thank,
And
thank you.
people
Yes.
charge for that. And
Yes.
I was like, to charge for that? So, because I have this, I still have the issue of with charging money. I don't understand money here.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm with
like
you on
part of
that,
me is,
sister. I'm with you on that.
yeah,
It's like ever since I've been in this world, it's like, what the hell are you all doing? I don't get it. But
no,
I thank you for being honest as well there because I was feeling it and I had the same block, right? And the other part of that, the second question to that is, we don't always value what comes naturally to us. It's like, oh, that. We don't realize it's like everybody outside of us is going, oh my gosh, look at what you can do. Come and do it for everybody. And you're like that. Like I just do that. So
yeah,
it's like the outside world is trying to say, come and value yourself. Come and value what it is that you do, please. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And that's not easy. That's not easy.
No, no.
So, how did you overcome it? What did you have to do?
Um, well, I had I had friends that started having parties where I felt comfortable with them having the psychic parties. So, and I was reading for strangers. And when people would tell me, you were right, or they'd report back to me, you were right about that. It's not about being right, but that gave me the confidence
Yes.
to, okay, well, I guess,
Well, you saw how much they valued it.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
It
that's
might,
important. It's kind of like I call it God's breadcrumbs, right? So you don't go from being this person here with abilities to, okay, I'm out there, I'm the Oracle Blonde, right? And I own it, and here I am. They're little breadcrumbs that happen along the way that kind of draw you into
yeah.
that world.
It's too, when you can help someone heal or give them closure, or you help them through something.
Yeah,
I think that's more satisfying than anything.
yeah,
So, and they tell you that. So
yes.
I like that too.
So they were
And,
helping
like,
you.
yeah. And, I'm a medical intuitive too. So a lot of times I can help someone with what's going on with them health wise.
Yep.
So
My
that's how
gosh.
I,
My gosh, I'm just seeing you and I'm seeing the shingle over your head, but it's like quite a large shingle because it's got a lot of titles on it.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
what
I don't like titles.
I know,
That's
I
where,
know, I know. I mean, this is just language, right? We're just trying to find
yeah.
words here, but it's like who are you in this new world that is now opening up, right? So if you had a shingle out and you were offering services of some sort, it's got me at the moment going into another dimension of thinking, going, wow. Like I know that I can shift people through having a conversation, right? I know that's what my energy does. And I'm just looking at your energy and what it encompasses. It's like, how do you put labels on, um, you know, I don't know. You put the shingle out and go, some people say, I'm a doctor. So people know straight away what you can do. I'm a psychic. Okay, they know what you can do. But how do you put a shingle out for what you do?
I don't know. Because what I feel like I can do is what I feel like I mainly do is, like, I'm an intuitive healer because I did that for myself because I had Lyme disease and I was misdiagnosed for 16 years. And I
Right.
mean, I had several near death experiences, but I had a big one in 2015. And, like, I Western medicine was killing me. It did kill me, and I tried going natural, couldn't find anyone. I ended up healing myself. So, and I figured it out. I figured it out, and
Wow.
you have to heal the mind, body, heart, and soul. That's what I do. I know how to do that because I've done it on myself. And no, it's not a one size fits all protocol for everybody, but I've figured it out and I can
Oh my
receive the
gosh.
downloads. I can tailor it to each person. See, it's just
Now,
not out there yet where
now
people
I've
know
got
about
it.
it.
Now I've got it. Everybody, now I've got it, right? Intuitive healer, right? That just covers all of it. And what I love that you just said then is that and this is going to become more of a validation that people are looking for now. You've done it to yourself. So
Yeah.
you have experienced what you teach. And that's where authenticity is going to start becoming a very key, um, um, you know, requirement in the future because there's too much hoo-ha out there, too much noise, too much interference and distraction that people, and I think you'll agree with me on this, from an energy perspective, their energy will find your energy.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about it. I feel like the right people will, and I don't mean right people, but I mean the people that truly want to heal
Yes.
and work with me will come to me. It's not easy. It's not easy work to heal your mind, body, heart, and soul. I know because I did it. It's
Yes.
not, it's also not cheap because, I mean, the supplements and stuff that I have people use are the purest you can find. And, no, it's expensive,
Yeah.
but getting
So
your
tell
health
me
back and
about,
keeping your health.
I didn't realize that you'd had Lyme's disease. And actually, I've
Yeah.
interviewed Julie Mellet, and she's going live this week, and
Yeah.
her journey. And you know her, right? So you know that
She's
journey.
a friend of mine.
So what was Lyme's disease for you? How did that
Oh.
happen?
Well, I know I was bitten in, I think it was February of 96, no, 97.
Right.
So I was on a cruise in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And I know I was bitten. There's a test that can be done called CD57. So it was when it was done, we figured out the time frame. And I know because I was deathly ill um, on the ship. So, and we'd gotten off the ship. We went into these sugarcane fields. I went to see how old these kids were working in the sugarcane fields because they were very young.
Right.
And I went to ask how old they were. And I believe that's when I was bitten,
Okay.
was in those sugarcane fields.
And when you said you
So
were deathly sick, like what were your symptoms that you had?
it was, oh my gosh, it was the worst flu I had ever had. I was having like electrical shocks all through my body, horrifying migraine. I was vomiting so bad. Like we had gotten off the ship, we were having to fly that day, and it was like, as we were taking off, the flight attendant just kept bringing one barf bag after another. I kept vomit.
Yeah.
It was horrific. And
Okay.
when we got back home, they should have tested me for, I'd been out of the country, but they
Yep.
were like, oh, she probably just caught something on the ship, but really bad flu.
Okay.
So therein went 16 years of being misdiagnosed with, they told me fibromyalgia, they told me lupus, they told me, so many different things,
Yes.
and nothing ever worked,
Yeah.
And the Lyme tests were horrible then. I'd been tested a few times for Lyme, but the tests are designed to fail. So, it's always
Okay. So
negative.
the journey for you was about supplements. And what else did you learn yourself about energy healing?
Uh, well, it wasn't just supplements. It was figuring out that there's parasites, and the parasites have biofilm, and then there's heavy metals, chemicals, and toxins, and inflammation in the body. It's a whole thing. And then, so I was in the hospital in 2015. My PICC line had gotten infected. I had blood clot, and I remember praying and saying, okay, I've been concentrating so hard on the physical, there has to be something else I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And that's where I received this download of this exercise I call the release and refill.
Okay.
And I received it in two parts. I received the release part first, and then I was left feeling very empty and void. And, after, because I was told to release toxic emotions. So I was very angry and ashamed and sad and all these, so I was really, and I felt very empty. So I said, okay, there has to be more to this. So then I received the refill part in a download. And that started that whole journey of understanding the emotional and mental healing part. I've already been doing some of it,
Yep.
for a few
Yep.
years because I'd went through a divorce and all of that, and the spiritual part because every day in bed, I was bedridden for 2.5 years. So this is how I got to Florida. I had to come to Florida because I was told I was going to die if I stayed in Indiana. So I had to come to my parents. So I was supposed to be here 6 months, and I've been here since
Yes.
2014.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
it's been
before
a
you
very
say
long
anything
journey.
else, before you say anything else, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you from all of us out here in the rest of the world. I hope people realize that some people, some souls put their hand up to step out on the threshold of something, and that's all to do with change. And trauma and facing collective trauma and facing your own trauma heals not just you, but others as well, right? It's like that 100th monkey syndrome. As soon as you start downloading, as soon as you start putting it into place, you were doing it for yourself, but you were doing it for everybody else, right? So we want
Yeah.
to say thank you for kind of being the one that had to I call myself the crash test dummy. You know what I'm saying it with love, right? But thank you for being the one to step up and go, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to get the downloads and I'm going to find solutions for it. You've done it for all of us. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I know other people have done things like this too. It's just the healing for the collective. It does. It's like shaman trials.
Yes.
It's your shaman trials, but it's it's like coming down on you hard and fast, and it's
Yes.
like
Yes.
years. Years of this stuff. It
Yes.
it was brutal,
I
man.
can say it because from personal experience myself, when I was in a domestic violent relationship and when I had this defining moment where it shifted from I was, in fear to I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I remember looking back at that and going, oh my gosh, I did that for every other victim, every other woman in that situation. I wasn't just doing it for me. It was like, on some level, helping everyone to shake the shackles off. And that's why
Yeah.
I can see what you were doing and go, thank you very much. Because, you had to go through such trauma and trials and tribulations for years to shift that dimension. Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah.
And allow another dimension to start coming in. Yes, which is the one that you're now embracing and going, hey, I've got my shingles up.
Yeah.
Anybody else need, personally what happens to your central nervous system.
Yes. And that's the other thing with the nervous system. See, the emotional healing, the emotional mental healing, is spiritual too. That's where you can't do your manifestations if your nervous system's not healed. The inner child runs the nervous system.
Correct.
So, when you have this, you're trying to manifest abundance or health or whatever, and your inner child's in fear or doesn't feel safe to do that or doesn't feel worthy, you're saying all this and the universe is like, what are you saying? Like, it's staticky to me, I don't understand what you're saying. So it's being canceled out, like it's not going to happen. You
That's a
gotta
beautiful
heal.
point. That's a beautiful point because most people don't realize that. It's like they're manifesting certain things and they only get so far and then it all falls apart. And that the nervous system plays a huge part in it. I call it rehearsing. If you start rehearsing what you're going to be, you're actually training your central nervous system to be okay with something new. And for you, you're
Yeah,
saying it's your inner child and you're giving them the confidence and saying there's something new, so let's rehearse it, practice it, allow it to happen.
exactly.
And people
Yeah,
don't
that's
realize
a
that,
good way to
yeah,
put it.
you've got to adjust your central nervous system. If you don't do that, it's going to chuck you straight back to where you came from real fast
Oh yeah, or further.
or further.
Because I've had that happen to me because of fear, like, and I say I have no fear of anything, right? But there are times where something will happen and I'll be like, "Oh, is that am I feeling like a little fear? Like, okay, why am I feeling this fear?" So, once you start digging and you can recognize it, then you can release it. And then that whatever you're trying to attract will be able to come in.
Yes.
No one's perfect.
No, but
We
what
all
you
have
said
stuff.
then is important too. It's taking notice of it, giving some
Yes.
awareness, some attention to it, because most people, when they start to feel uncomfortable, the first thing is to block it, avoid it, do something else.
Stuff it down.
Yes, yes. And it's all
Yep.
energy. It just wants some attention.
Right. Yeah,
Mm, mhm.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. So that Lyme journey was supplements, it was downloads, it was energy healing. What else was involved with it?
I was like a mad scientist. I was researching all the time. Yes, I was looking at people who had achieved a wellness state, who had beaten it. I would reach out to them. I'd talk to doctors all over the world, like natural doctors.
Right.
Um, I once I got to a wellness state once in 2018, and I maintained it for 14 months. I started doing interviews and stuff on Facebook. I was doing Facebook Lives for about a year,
Right.
and I was anybody that Lyme doctors, Lyme advocates, anybody. I was interviewing anyone and everyone, and I lost that page because when COVID started to hit, I was telling people how to protect themselves or heal themselves from COVID. And so then
Oh,
I
you weren't
lost
telling people how to
all
cure themselves, were you?
exactly.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh,
So they
not
took
allowed to
all my
do
Facebook
that.
pages away. Yeah. So, but then I caught COVID twice. So I got a really mild version the first time and it bounced back, and then I caught it again. And I think what happened was I wasn't boosting my immune system enough, and I didn't stay on a couple of things I should have stayed on. So I learned, and I ended up having, I noticed it like it cycled. It's like it was very much like Lyme in the sense that it had a cycling like Lyme did.
Right.
And I talked to Dr. Armin about this, Dr. Armin Schwartzbach he has Armin Labs. And he wrote a paper on this actually about how COVID had an 18-month cycling and it cycled for 5 to 6 weeks. And I talked to him about this. And so once it quit cycling, I went back on treatment. And I just told people I went back on treatment for Lyme. But what I was doing was I was clearing out the COVID that I had because it was very similar to Lyme.
You
Didn't
know,
feel like I had Lyme
what I'm
anymore.
hearing now is, I mean, I know that the medical profession have got labels for everything, but so many things are our central nervous system.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
saying, gosh, the symptoms, it seems similar, but the doctor tell you it's this and it's not this. Um, you know, how did you, and I love that you wanted to have conversations. I want to encourage people out there. It's like if something's going on with you, it's the best thing to do is go and start researching it, go and start talking about it and finding others that are doing the similar thing. But I'll go back to what I said before. You got to find people like you who are authentic and who have been through the experience. Please, people, don't start just listening to anybody willy-nilly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to
Oh, yeah.
talk to somebody, ask them, what have you been through first?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because when I started to understand the importance of the experience and the energy of an experience, it made me start to realize that there's so many good people out there that are trying to help people with addictions and illnesses and all the rest of it. But if you get someone who embodies the healing of it, they're going to be able to hold you in a different space and to reach different outcomes, aren't they?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Isn't
Oh
that
yeah.
beautiful? Isn't
Yeah.
that beautiful? It's like you have to have lived it. You have to have walked the path to be able to hold the path and the energy for somebody else to walk it as well.
Well, and you should ask them if they're healed themselves
Yes. Yes.
because that's important too. No matter what whether it's a counselor, like I always tell people like Max Owen, she's excellent to work
Hmm.
with,
Yeah.
because she's done the work herself. She's in a healed place. So that's the type of people you want to work with. You
Yes.
want someone that's done the work themselves, they're healed, and they're in a good place. So,
Yes. That's great advice. Everybody out there needs to listen to that. Right. Your body, you know, I think one of the biggest problems out there at the moment is a lot of people are a little scared of their bodies. And the bodies only have one way to talk to us, and that's through pain and suffering and discomfort.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What would you say to somebody out there that's feeling something going on in their body?
Well, I would ask them what they're feeling first,
Mm.
and where it is. I mean, unless I'm like reading them, then I usually feel the symptoms that they're having, and I can pinpoint, what it is. But I also know there's like a foundation to everything. Everyone's got parasites, and everyone has heavy metals, chemicals, and toxins, unless you've been, clearing yourself out. But I also know there are certain herbs and things that you have to use. There's one in particular that I know takes care of everything, but you have to dose it a certain way, and everybody needs their own drops. You muscle test. I teach everybody to muscle test. It's not a one size fits all protocol, but there's a way to do the protocol, and it's something I call a foundational protocol too, because everyone's deficient in vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals. And there's other, like sulfur for one, and NAD, but I'm still doing research on things because
Yeah.
I'll be 3 years in wellness this October, and
Well,
I'm still tweaking things with rebuilding my body.
yeah.
And I can get real nerdy with you right now, but I'll bore everybody if I do. But I'm like the mitochondria, like I'm having to reignite, refire my mitochondria right now because it's been asleep basically for 30 years.
Yep.
So I'm having to do that, but I'm figuring it out.
So what I'm
So, but
hearing
I
from
love this stuff.
you, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's
Yes.
why, you have to put the harness on yourself, because when we love something and we're passionate, we'll go right down a rabbit hole and we'll take everybody with
Oh
us.
yeah. Yeah. I'll start talking about the Nerf 1 and Nerf 2 pathways. I'll like take y'all with me and you'll be like eyes glazed over, what'd she just say? But that's you had Asta on, Asta Evans, master numerologist, I call her. I got my 25/7 life path. So that 7 energy, I'm very analytical. I love to research. Like I will give you all the information, tell you exactly why this is going to work or why it's working or why it's not working,
Mm.
and I'll give you all the data. I
Yes.
love data.
Yes, I hear it. I hear it. I mean, and everybody out there who's watching at the moment, did you see that passion just start coming out?
I'm sure my aura just blew up. It's like
Exactly. Exactly. So, okay. Where to now? Tell me your perspective on what is happening in this world now, because everybody out there has, they're plugging into all sorts of information. We know there are two worlds. I introduced this show by saying conversations like this are creating the new world, because our thinking is creates our reality, right? Whatever we're focusing on is creating our reality. So what do you see happening? What's going on in the world?
well, Rachel Vaughn and I do our Predictions Live series, and I believe it was back in April of this year when we did that Predictions Live. I received the download that we're not creating the new reality. The true reality's already there. I was
Yeah.
shown this black piece of fabric splitting and this light coming through and being shown the true reality.
Yes.
So we are, as we are raising our frequency and vibration, and so is the earth, that is dissolving, if you want to call it the matrix or whatever. It's the fake reality. It's
Yes.
dissolving. And I don't like saying people are above or below others in vibrations. I just think we're all on a path, and some of us are further ahead than others, and so some of us are going to reach that true reality before others will. But whoever gets there first, then we're going to help the ones behind us,
I
right?
agree. I stand corrected. Like it's again language, just looking for language, because I see it like mist starting to, just
Yes.
disperse, and we start to
Yes.
see, oh my gosh, what is there? There's something beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
for me, I see it as we're all carrying or connected with programming. And as we start to disconnect from the programming and tune back into who we authentically are, we get lighter and lighter. That's only a way of trying to describe it. And that it starts to clear.
Yes.
Mm.
And I think as you get lighter and lighter, you care less and less about the fake reality. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
um, this last live predictions live that Rachel and I did at the end of June, um, I kept being told or given the word observe, and it was in all capital letters. And I was told we're not going to be able to save everyone, even though we want to. And as light workers, that's really hard for us to hear. But after that live, and as things have progressed through this month, Max keeps saying, she's like, you were right about July with what's going on. And that's what I was told. That's the downloads I received. I don't like being right about good thing or bad things. I like being right about good things,
it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, because I see the same thing. I am observing. I call it the muck. The old world is just the muck out there. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I did my best to just disengage from it and watch it.
Yes.
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 And you get to a
I
point
like
where,
that.
yeah, you can see who's still plugged in, who's not plugged in. Some are obvious, some aren't. But my love is there for
Yeah.
everyone, no matter what. But my love for myself is so strong that I will not step into the muck for
Yeah.
anything. If somebody wants to
Right.
step out and come and reach me, that's
Right.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I'm with
agree.
you on that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
So, what are you doing to help?
Uh, well, you know,
What can people,
I
no,
have,
let me put it another way. What can people come and see you for? What do you offer to people? That's a better way of putting it. My gosh.
well, I was gonna say, like, I have my spiritual chat live where I have all different kinds of guests that I bring on to, showcase their talents and what they do and spread
And
their gifts and stuff.
is that on Celesta, the Celesta Circle?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because
I
I'm going to
when I
put the
started
link.
that,
I'm going to put the
yeah,
link for that in the show notes. Yep.
okay, yeah. I started that because I was thinking, Celesta Circle it's what is it? Not Irish, it's Scottish, and it means bright circle. Because I was just thinking of how when y'all sit around like a bonfire, everyone always will tell all of their stories or they'll tell their most personal stuff, and that's what I wanted it to be. And
Lovely.
so I thought I can put all different kinds of stuff on there. This Lost of Circles just that's the channel. And so then I
Lovely.
can have different things on there.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
love that idea. And it's making me think now because you'll recognize this when I say it. For those of us that have stepped out of the muck, as I call it, it's a brave new world. It's there's a
Yeah.
bit it's firstly for a lot of people it's lonely until you start connecting with others. But it's new territory. It's like being, I'm thinking of, the country and westerns where you got the desert sitting in front of you, and
Yeah.
it's like, how do I live? How do I support myself? How do I share this with others? How do I encourage and inspire others? It's all new.
Yeah. Yeah.
New.
Well, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. So,
Mhm.
I know I need to get out there more. Ever since I lost my pages back in 2020, I thought, what's the point? They can take everything away. I
Mm.
need to get back out there. I used to be have good views and all of that, but I just now I see things for what it is and I think it's not that important. It's important that I reach people, but my thing is if one person sees what I do and it speaks to them, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. And I have courses. I have a spiritual development course. I have a tarot course.
Mhm.
That's starting this Friday. Actually, my spiritual development course just ended last Friday. So I do soul coaching, I do health coaching, I do readings, I do a little bit of everything, Helen.
You do, you do. And for those people that are just starting to kind of open this world up, like, when I started seeing auras or things like that, if that's you, then yes, they need to do a tarot course. They need to do a spiritual development course. They need to learn the language and start to kind of understand what's happening to them.
Yeah. The spiritual development course, I extended it to 5 weeks and I've added remote viewing in it. It's got telepathy. It's got reading auras and soul frequencies. And I do the remote viewing and stuff a little differently than maybe other people do or what other people might be used to because it's how I used to do things with my kids when they were young.
Okay.
And and it's got a little bit of my soul coaching in it. It talks about spirits and ghosts and astral traveling and dreams. There's a little bit of everything in this course,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do it next year too. This summer I had where if you took both courses, you got both courses for the price of the tarot. So, um,
Okay. So
which
there's specials there as well.
yes, there's specials. Yes, there's specials. And for people that are in Australia, the price of the tarot course is in Australian dollars. So I know it says US dollars, but I know there's the currency thing. So it's in Australian dollars. I need to change it on there so that people understand. But I didn't want to confuse people with what I
Yeah.
put on there. So,
Yeah. And, I just encourage people because we have been indoctrinated, it's part of programming as well, to be afraid of our abilities, to be afraid of,
Yeah.
I remember when I first had clairaudience happen, like clearly. And, I was sitting in a corporate environment and, this voice said, tell him to tell her I'm okay. And I'm like frozen. What the hell just happened to me? Because there's nobody here. It takes the fear out of those things because our programming has made us afraid of things that we don't know or we don't understand. And we get filled, especially with movies and stuff, with ghosts and demons and, all the dark sort of stuff. You've
Yeah.
got to just start to research it like you do and investigate it, and find out what's really going on.
Well, and it was all designed that way, like you said, programming to so that we wouldn't know how powerful we are.
Mm, yes. And it makes us avoid it, doesn't it? We just
Yep.
avoid it and we get on
Yes.
with the outside world. Because there's a difference between the outside and the inside worlds, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah. And everyone has the answers inside of them. You just have to turn off the outside world so you can hear what's going on inside.
I really have to take my hat off for people these days, though, because I know when I was doing it, the world wasn't as noisy as it is
Yeah.
now, and it wasn't
True.
as distractive as I think I just made up a word, distractive, as it is now as well, right? I think
Yeah.
that people have got a bit of a harder task these days.
Yeah. Well, and you think about it, like when my kids were young, so busy, you're going, going, going.
Yeah.
Always, the only times I could really get downloads and stuff was when I was washing dishes,
Yes.
doing
Yeah.
gardening, something with water, or when I was asleep and I would, be woken up or whatever. So, you know, when people have little kids and families, they're too busy and
Mm,
they literally can't. So you have to teach people how to turn everything down so that they can have time, carve time out for themselves, even 10 minutes,
mm,
10 minutes.
yes. But in this busy world, even 10 minutes just, seems to be difficult for people.
It is, but it's more important now than ever to
Hmm.
unplug,
Hmm.
from the matrix because it is dissolving so
Yep. Yeah. And for people
rapidly.
that are getting a tap on the shoulder out there, if you're getting a little tap on the shoulder, and I'm sure you'll agree with me here, take notice, right? Find that 10 minutes now, because if you ignore that, then your guidance or your spirit or whatever that is for you is going to come along and give you a bit of a nudge on the side of the face or the head, a little bit harder the next time. And then you might get a push of some sort. And, if spirit wants to get your attention, you'll get a Mack truck coming through your life too. That happens.
That's true. That's 100% true because I've had instances in my life where been I've had quite catastrophic things happen when I've tried to ignore things or tried to like maneuver around things,
Hmm.
thinking I could change the outcome or something. And mm-mm. The universe is like, oh no, no, no.
And that's what I learned from my own experience. So I said, tap on the shoulder, a little nudge at the side of the head, and a kind of a whack at the back of the head. And then next thing, your whole life gets turned upside down. That's the Mack
It
truck.
does. Yeah, it does.
And please,
Oh,
people,
yeah.
don't wait. Don't wait for that. Just start, just start nurturing that inside world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how would you get people, like, I know that thinking is one of the hardest things, thinking too much, thinking all the time. How would you encourage people to deal with overthinking?
Mm. Well, when you start like doing your inner soul healing work, you can. I talk about like inside is a garden, right? So you have to weed
Mhm.
out that garden, and as you're weeding out that garden, You're releasing emotions, trapped emotions. You work on that heart wall, which is a wall of trapped emotions. You break that wall down. That's when you can start to get the heart and mind into alignment where thinking and feeling become one. They're the same. Thinking and feeling are the same because we have been programmed so that thinking is one thing and feeling is another. They're
Mhm.
two separate things. So when you can bring them into balance, that's when you can start like being able to meditate and being able to like shut the outside world off and to like connect to your higher self, connect to source. It takes practice and it takes some work, but
Yeah,
it's just carving out that time for yourself.
yeah. And I think it's making me think of a friend of mine who, he's been a lawyer for a long, long time. And I've known him for a long, long time. And he's always had a very clear inner world. Like you could feel it, like I'd watch people have categorized him as rude or, you know, other sorts of things because his energy is very tight, tight around him, right? He's got such an internal focus, such an internal world that is more important than the outside world. And I found him a bit of a rare bird because you don't come across a lot of people like that in life. And recently, when he actually admitted to me that he has never felt anxiety in his life, and I'm like, who are you? Who are you? How come? And, he taught himself that. Like he just never engaged with it. So, what you're talking about with, getting the thinking and feeling and that inner world starting to happen, what I saw from him is that he's been doing that for a long time. He's been judged, he's been ridiculed, he's been called names. So I want people to realize that when your inner world becomes stronger than your outer world, other people get a bit peeved, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. But
They
he has
can't
good,
quite,
strong boundaries.
yeah.
You know, his boundaries are very strong and in place.
Mm.
And, you know, he's very zen within. And
And
so,
he says he hasn't got a spiritual bone in his body and he doesn't believe in God. Wow, right? Like that's why I'm just kind of, who are you? um,
yeah.
but I wanted to give that example because, yeah, for people out there, if you're going to start to do some work on yourself, you're going to start to really strengthen that inner world. Be prepared for a bit of blowback outside of you. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
And
be
people will
okay.
fall away.
Mm.
When you're doing that inner work, I always call it like little Tasmanian devil clouds that pop up of
Oh, yes,
people. They
yes,
pop up and then there's like an argument or there's words or whatever and then they just go away. They blow away and you don't hear from them ever again.
yeah.
It's so weird.
And
But the
that's
universe
another thing,
removes.
that's another thing that stops people too, though, doesn't it? Because people get scared they're going to lose everybody.
Yeah, but you do. And here's the thing though. If you're meant to do the work and you're supposed to do the work and you avoid it, the universe will just remove it all at once. You know, like when I went through everything I was going through, when I think back at it, I'm thinking, holy crap. Like I was doing my release and refill and I learned the power of my words, okay? Because I said, I want to remove and release all negativity from my life. I didn't I didn't think that through, Helen,
Careful
because I
what
had a
you wish
storage
for.
unit. Yeah, I had a storage unit in Indiana, and some freak storm hit that building, and I lost just about everything in there because it all got wet. There was mold. There was all kinds of. It was a crazy thing, and I'm like, oh. So like the universe was like teaching me an important lesson about material things and what's really important,
Yep.
and I've learned the difference between a want and a need and like what's real it's truly important.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like when you're going through these shaman trials, stuff will happen, and you won't always see it when it's happening, but later on you'll look back and you'll be like, ah, okay, I get it, I get it.
I get it.
So
I get it. Oh my gosh. We are the greatest creative power on this planet. And
yes,
we have to connect with that now and start behaving like that. But it is like flexing a few new muscles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just we have to remember. We
Mm.
have to remember who we are.
Mhm. Yeah. And we need people like you standing up there with a shining light, guiding people to, I mean, you're helping people to understand things because, you didn't have all of that yourself, like the language and things like that is all very important. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. So, what
Yeah.
have we got
We're not
coming? What have we got coming? What do you see for our future?
Oh, well, I see it being very good, but I do see the next several years being it's going to be like this.
Mm, mm,
Now, those of us that I say that a lot of light workers right now are anchoring in. It's what I call anchoring in because a lot of light workers have been too scared to shine or they've been shining, but and there's also, like, I received this during the last live, there's a lot of false light workers out there and
yes,
they're going to start dimming and falling away. So
yes.
the true light workers are anchoring in right now,
Mm,
and they may not feel like they're ready to, anchor in and be bold enough to shine, but it's time. It's time because the next, I don't know, 3 years at least, a lot of people are going to be lost because Rachel and I, when we started on Twitter
okay.
doing the like our predictions and stuff on there. We weren't really predictions. We were talking spiritual stuff. And this was in 2024. And
Okay.
then January of 2025 is when we started the predictions series. And her and I both saw that people had 2 years to, like, start doing their, if they hadn't started their soul healing work, if they hadn't done it, started doing anything, they had to start doing it. you
Mhm.
know get We keep saying it every time, start doing your soul healing work, time is limited, time is limited. People got about 6 months, because we already had the first shift in February, the second one is happening this month,
Yep.
there will be a third at the end of the year going into January. So there can be a lot of people that don't make it,
Mm.
that
And
shift.
for those that are listening now, your advice for them?
Well, if they're listening to this, then they're going to make it
Mm.
because they're on board. They've been doing their soul work, so they're going to make it. And even if you've only just started doing your soul work, you're going to make it
Yep.
because you're on board. You're awake. You're going to do it. And
Mm.
we're all here to help you. So
Yep.
it's
Just
it's going to be okay.
hunker down
Yeah,
like a tornado
hunker
is kind of
down,
happening.
hunker down. And just know that, I was shown like a snow globe shaking violently for this month in August.
Okay.
And it's for people that are still plugged into the matrix.
Yep.
And those of us that are on the outside of the snow globe, it's going to be very hard to watch because a lot of our loved ones are going to be inside that snow globe, or they may
Yeah.
have one foot in, one foot out.
Yep.
We can't help them till
Yep.
they're outside of the snow globe.
Mhm.
So just remember that.
The
Observe.
truth is, Angie, who helped you? You.
I helped me. I
Right.
helped me.
So when you
No
think
one,
about it,
yeah,
I helped me as well, right? It's like,
right.
we had little way seers along the way. Like you had your mum, I had
Yeah,
mentors and things like that. But essentially, you helped you. So for
yep,
everybody out there, yeah, you're responsible. Take charge and sit back and look after yourselves. Yeah.
yeah. Because only you can save you. I think that's part of the problem too, is people are waiting for someone to save them, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, that's an old
Because even if you come
program.
to someone like us, like I know you do soul healing work too,
Yep.
we can only help people if they want to help themselves.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Correct. And there's still a program of authority out there. They've been so used to following others having the authority. Just take it
yes,
back now, guys. You're in charge of your own life. Yeah.
yep,
And your own healing. And thank
yes,
you. Thank you, Angie. You are shining an enormous light. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And thank you for being here at this time and offering the services that you do as well. People that are listening and watching, I'm going to put your website and your YouTube in the show notes. And I encourage people to reach out and start exploring. Start exploring this world of spirituality, of who we really are, It's bloody beautiful.
Yes, 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 I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Helen, for having me today. It's been wonderful.
Oh, it has been a pleasure, my love. Thank you so much. All right.